Hello everyone, welcome to the craft therapy. In today's video, I am going to show how to make these 6 Harry Potter crafts using inexpensive supplies. So let's get started. The first craft is an easy quill bookmark. For this, I am taking a black cardstock and drawing a feather shape. After cutting it, I am going to use this as a template and cut another one out of red paper. Next, I will be writing the first 2 spells we learned, Wingardium Leviosa and Alohomora. The second craft is the magic wand. For this, we will need a stick. I am using this wooden chopstick. You can use anything you have at home, like a paintbrush or straw or even a tube made out of newspaper. You will need some acrylic colors. I am taking brown, red and golden. And the last thing you will need is glue gun. Start by making glue patterns on the stick. I am making random patterns here. Once you are satisfied, let it dry. Here's how it looks after it is dried. Now I'm going to start painting it using brown acrylic color and then add a dash of red. Once it dries, I'm just adding golden color at a few places to add some magical touch. And our magical wand is ready. For the third craft, we are going to make a tiny broom. There are multiple ways to do this. I am using the skewers here, but if you have an old paintbrush or wooden stick, it would be better. You also need some twine and jute rope. I am taking these skewers and tying one end with the jute twine. Next, I will unfurl the jute rope and try to open the strands to give it a broom appearance. Once done, I am going to tie it with the skewers using the twine. As a final step, I painted the skewers black and then wrote Nimbus 2023. The broom was ready, but I felt it lacked character. So I disassembled it and started adding some wet paper and wet tissues to the skewers to give it some uneven thickness. I kept on layering it with wet tissues. There are a lot of ways you can make this broom. I have also made it using newspaper foil wrapped in brown paper and coconut husk. You can do that as well. Once it dried, I painted it using brown and red acrylic colors. As a final touch, I also wrote Nimbus 2023 on this. For the next craft, I am making the Snitch Ball. For this one, I am using the Ferrero Rocher as the ball and I am taking this golden foam sheet and I'll cut 2 leaves out of it. Then I am taking the toothpicks and attaching these leaves to the toothpicks and making some slits along the edges to give it feather-like appearance. Finally, I'll insert the toothpicks in the chocolate to make the snitch ball. The next one is a potion for Dementor's attack. So for this, I'm just taking a glitter bottle, and I did not have a glass bottle. If you have a glass bottle, that will be better. So since I did not have a glass bottle, I'm going to be covering the plastic cap of this one with some air dry clay. Once the clay dries, I'm going to paint it brown. To label it, I'm taking a sticky note and burning the edges, and then I'm just writing a message. Our potion is ready. Our final DIY is Hogwarts acceptance letter. For this, we will need some paper and tea or coffee decoction. We need to wet the paper in the decoction completely to stain it. This is to make it look like aged or vintage paper. I'm using a tissue paper here to apply the decoction to the paper. You need to be very gentle with the wet paper, let it dry completely. In the meantime, we are going to draw the Hogwarts crest. Once I finished the crest, I realized that it's too big for the letter. So I created a similar mini version of it. Unfortunately, I missed recording that. So I'm going to paste the crest on the paper and just write the letter. Since I wanted to keep it handwritten, I drew the Hogwarts crest and wrote the invite by hand, but you can always print it using the templates available online and then stain the paper. To make the envelope, I'm taking an A4 size paper and then making it in a square shape. Then on two adjacent sides, I'm going to mark 10 cm each and draw two parallel lines. These are to mark the folds. Now we will cut these 4 triangles and round all the edges. Once the envelope is ready, I am going to stain it using the same coffee decoction. I am using a hairdryer here to speed in the process. Now to seal the envelope, I first tried melting a wax crayon along with a wax candle. While I was melting the wax, I realized I don't have a stamp. So I'm using a potato here to carve out an edge, and that will work as a stamp. As you can see, I could not control the flow of the wax and it just went everywhere. So for the second attempt, I'm using the crayon along with the silicone glue. So after my first failed attempt, I had to make another envelope. So I did not want to risk it the second time. So this time I'm not going to put the wax directly on the envelope, but I'm going to use a paper very similar to wax paper. And I'm going to put the stamp on that, and then once it dries, I'll peel it off and paste it on the envelope. So this turned out much better, and this was our final DIY. I hope you enjoyed this video and you do try all these crafts. I'll meet you next time. Stay tuned. Until then, take care. Bye.